Bring the light to District 3. I am Dr. Jessica Lightborn, and I'm number 2 on the ballot. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Zarian Gracie, and I am your current council member for District 3. I am a father, a husband, and all of these things. All of these things, that's enough. I bring to this city the 2 years that I've sat in this seat currently. Prior to that, I was your commissioner for planning and zoning. Prior to that, I was the president for the Public Facilities Corporation. And prior to all of that, I worked for the city for 16 years. I have a certificate in state and local government from Harvard Kennedy School of Business. I have a master's in organizational leadership from Luther Rice University and Seminary. And I'm a proud graduate of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, which is a HBCU. I've been in this seat working, not just as your elected official. I've been in this seat working as a city employee, and prior to that, above and beyond that, I served this community as chair, as board members for the Dallas Black Chamber, for the Oak Cliff Chamber, for Harmony Community Development Corporation. I'm saying all of these things to say that I'm somebody that's been serving this district, that's been living in this district, that's been serving at Harmony Community Development, ensuring that we have food given, distributed to our neighbors. This is something that I do. This is something that I was born to do. This is not a political move for me. This is a calling. And I've proudly accepted this calling, and we've had some great accomplishments. And I'm here to ask for your continued support as I run for re-election. I started this campaign saying, let's build together. This is our district, our future. And I will continue, and I will continue that work of building what I've started. Zarian Gracie, District 3, and ballot 3, place 3, thank you.
Before we get to the question part, I just want to make sure everybody knows what Dallas City Council persons does. They govern the city, passing laws, approving budgets, and overseeing city services. It regulates zoning, public safety, infrastructures, economic development while addressing housing and community needs. The council hires the city manager to run daily operations and engages with residents through town halls and meetings. So I'm saying that because none of these candidates are running for the school board. None of these candidates are running for judges. They are strictly running for city council. So I'm going to open it up to people to ask questions. Say your name. We don't need the backdrop information. We know you're important. We know that you're very special. We don't need to know all your accolades. We just need to know your name and your question. It's already hard enough to remember your name along with all your accolades. So your name and question. So you can either come up here or you can stay where you are as long as you project your voice to ask your questions. Again, city council. We're talking about city council for District 3. We're currently in District 3. So she's going to kick off the question. We already know this is Dr. Sharon Middlebrooks, and she's going to ask her question. We don't need to go until she's the president and all that stuff. Dr. Sharon Middlebrooks, question.
Go ahead.
That's why I get to take the presidential privilege, because I am the president. Now, so first and foremost, I didn't say this in the beginning, I'd like to thank you all for taking time out your busy schedule to be here. Though you are candidates, you did not have to come at our invitation. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. So I know that this is probably somewhat a redundant question, and I think you may have somewhat answered it a little earlier, But what I would like to know is, why do you want to be a council person for the city of Dallas? Why? You can stand up and just, I think they'll project.
Okay. Good evening again. You said I need the microphone? I'm running for District 3 and deserving of being the representative for District 3 because I currently and previously have represented District 3. I've served on the Housing Finance Corporation since 2021, fighting hard in order to ensure that, again, we are not consumed with multifamily rentals, ensuring that we are actually getting access to home ownership. I am constantly at the forefront, arguing for more home ownership than rental. Because as you all know in this room, the importance of ownership is that wealth generating factor. I'm running for,
Because my question is,
we're still asking questions.
why do you want to be a Dallas City Council? Not get there,
Okay.
that's the question. Why do you want to be?
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
want to be the city council member for District 3 because I want us to have the services that we desire and that we deserve and that we need. I want to be the council member for District 3 because I have the expertise and the experience to ensure that we get what we deserve and what we desire and what we need as a community. That is why I'm running for District 3.
Okay, thank you.
My background is no secret to many. One of the things I failed to mention is I was also served as executive pastor at Concord Church for 3 years after I left the city. So why do I want to run? Why am I here? It's because, as I told you before, my background, this is an evolution. This is an evolution into a calling for me. This is not about politics. This is about something that I've been called to address the needs in this community that I've been serving for so long. Through ministry, through volunteering, through boards and commissions. So I'm here and I'm serving because it's a calling. This is a responsibility that I take very serious, and I plan to continue doing that work. So I'm here because it is a calling for me. Thank you.
And we're gonna give, I'm putting this timer here, we're gonna give each person 90 seconds to answer the question.
So the next question is, since you were first last time, you can be, what skill sets do you possess that can and will be an asset to your district and the city as a whole? What skill sets do you possess?
As I mentioned before, I served as the Planning and Zoning Commissioner for District 3. I also served as the first president for the Public Facilities Corporation. Prior to that, I worked 16 years for the city of Dallas in economic development, purchasing, budget office. I ran the Office of Business Diversity, and I think one more, Controller's Office. I know the inner workings of the city from a financial perspective, and prior to that, I have 12 years of banking and finance experience. I'm bringing all of this to the table. That's just what I bring. Let me talk about what I've already done. These are the things that I've already started working on, some of those accomplishments. I don't have time to get into them, and I'll talk about them later. But these accomplishments have already come, but I'm bringing 2 years that have already set in this seat and something that we've already started building, momentum, turning District 3 into the asset that it is, and not just solutions for everyone else. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll repeat the question. What skill sets do you possess, Dr. Lightfoot, that can and will be an asset to your district, District 3, and the city as a whole?
The access that I bring is formal and informal education. I have a PhD in public administration, which means I can analyze critically and analytically policies in addition to data and data analysis. I can make decisions quickly. Other skill sets that I bring is my volunteer services regarding to the Housing Finance Corporation, creating farms and urban farming, regarding to food insecurity and that of the such. As you all know, we are in a food desert. So the one thing that we can do is grow our own food and distribute it through several organizations that I participate with, and I encourage my students as a professor at the UNT Dallas to also start and have an integral role in our community. Those are the assets that I bring in addition to community building as well as capacity building. Thank you.
As the 7th largest city in the United States, what do you think are some of the attributes and challenges that will confront you if you're the city council person for District 3?
Some of the issues that we're already being confronted with are, again, access to home ownership in our district, in addition to the lack of economic opportunities and socioeconomic mobility in our district, in addition to public safety. Crime has risen in our district by 2% over the past 2 years, as most of us know. So those are some of the challenges that we face. As a professor for the graduate program of public leadership at UNT Dallas, our students are working with staffers with the city of Dallas currently to resolve those issues by creating food forests in our communities, such as District 7, working with food pantries such as Faith Formula, with Friendship West Baptist Church, and things of such. We've also worked with Dallas PD in helping them create and integrate their strategic plan in order to also help them generate the additional 900 plus officers that they need. We've been training these students to be in the field alongside of us, faculty-led, so that way these issues that are coming up, we are equipped to dealing with them. Thank you.
So as the 7th largest city in the United States, what do you think are some of the attributes and the challenges you're confronted with or will be confronted with as a city council person for District 3?
I think one of the things that we've been confronted with since I've been in this seat, and that is seeing the assets that we have here in District 3 and ensuring that they remain assets and not just a solution. And that's what we have around here. The city of Dallas is growing. We do have a housing crisis. We have a homeless crisis. And we also have a lot of good things coming to this city. We have the FIFA World Cup that's coming. As chair of the Sports and Retention and Recruiting Committee, I'm excited about what that's going to do to the city from an economic development. That's the equivalent of 9 Super Bowls that are coming. You have downtown Dallas that's being redeveloped as we speak from the convention center perspective, and the Dallas Mass, working to try to keep them there. So those are some of the opportunities that we have here. The challenge is, as we prepare and make room for those type of economic development, the challenge becomes, where do we move things like the bridge? And how do we continue addressing our homeless solutions problem at the same time while bringing economic development? And the challenge for District 3 is making sure that we don't become the solution for economic opportunity everywhere else, and that we're fighting to ensure that we keep District 3 as an economic asset and utilizing those assets that we have and not just making them be solutions. Hope I answered. Thank you so much.
So in an effort to help voters better understand you as individuals, would you please take a few moments and let the audience know your organization affiliations that you're a member of? And I'm going to strike through that question because you did that in the beginning. You mentioned your various organizations that you were affiliated with. So my last question would be, what are your thoughts with reference to the city funds, most recent fund, in the amount of $546 billion that the citizens are online to repay, as it relates to the convention center? And out of $546 million, only 20 million, not even 20 million, it's 20,000 to be point, are set aside for housing as we talk about and speak on homelessness in this city, the 7th largest city.
Thank you for that question. There's no secret that there was a sparring match between parks and housing, this bond program, and streets. We knew we needed a lot to go towards streets and infrastructure, so that's something that we could stand behind. How we landed on the housing and getting only 26 million or so put into the housing portion, it is what it is. But what I can tell you is I thought enough when we had our discrepancy dollars or our district specific funds to set aside 2 million. We each had $5 million. I put 2 million in housing to ensure that we had money for infrastructure. Understanding that there was a need in District 3 to address housing and homelessness. So I have 2 million sitting in the housing economic development piece for District 3. I mean, in a housing bond fund for District 3. And I have another 2 million in parks for District 3. And then I have another million in economic development to ensure that regardless of what happens citywide, we at least have enough money to get some projects going in District 3 to address the housing crisis in our district in a way that we need to address it. The type of homes that we need to have, the home types and those kind of things. I think I'm gonna be running over a minute, so I'll stop right there. Thank you.
The 2024 bond proposal that went to the voters and that was approved on. One of my roles when I was at Georgia State with their Center for Fiscal Research Center was to evaluate every single bond proposal that was presented to every single resident before it went on the ballot. Here in our state, here in our city, after review, many of our residents did not understand what they were voting for. A lot of the language was convoluted. A lot of the bond packages were bundled. If you go to the City of Dallas's website right now to see the allocation that has been provided for District 3, you'll see maybe 2 for parks, and we only get 1 project for housing. So we're not getting the fair end of the deal here. However, we are all responsible for paying it back. Finances are very important. And a lot of times, especially when we're talking about the 2024 bond, a lot of voters, if they understood what they were voting for, they would not have voted for this large amount. I teach people in our programs, I teach people at our churches, I teach people in our districts, District 4, 7, especially the southern sector, because we are too often robbed of our resources and robbed of our assets because we are often, I don't want to use the word bamboozled, but we are often told one thing in order to get another. So how do I feel, or whatever the question was about the 2024 bond program? I don't approve of how the information was distributed. However, we all have to work together now, since we all are paying for it, to make it make sense for us, especially here in the southern sector. Thank you.
That section is good. There's note cards if you want to write out your questions. I used to be an English teacher and taught speech and debate, so it might be good for some people to write their question on a note card so that when you come up, you're not asking 3 questions within one. So we're just going to answer your name and the question. For example, I'm Cameron Greer. My question to you all is, too often we talk about all the challenges and problems that goes on in our city. What opportunities do you see for our city?
That's a great question, because in the very beginning of my statement, I stated that we are bringing the light back to District 3. In order to bring the light, or even to be the light, you have to have a vision. The vision in which we see for District 3, our district, with our neighbors and our families and friends, are 3 points. Those 3 points are as follows: reduction in crime, access to home ownership, bringing wealth back to our districts, and then also economic opportunities and training our workforce development teams to work with our youth 35 and up, or 18 to 35, and even providing services for our seniors as far as skilling them up for the jobs. We cannot talk about District 3 being an economic engine without training people for the skill sets, because what will happen is these jobs will come. It is in the vision. But some people will not, if not most, will not be able to fill those positions. in technology, AI and of such. So the vision and the opportunities that we see, one of the prime examples that I spoke about and I've been very vocal about on my social media pages is using 2929 Southampton instead of selling the property, using that as an economic engine. The goal is not to be an economic engine for the entire city. The goal is to be an economic engine for the entire world. We want our city and our district to be the place that everyone wants to live, work, worship, and play. We want to be a model for all of those to aspire, not just a few people. Thank you.
Too often we talk about the challenges and the crisis that goes on in our city. What opportunities do you see for our city?
Thank you for that. One of the things I do is I ride District 3. I ride it regularly. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's late at night when I come from the gym, because I want all different perspectives of District 3. One of the best opportunities I see is right around the corner over there at 4150 Independence. Again, when you talk about opportunities, you just gotta spend a little time over there and you'll get to see what I see. It's not about addressing our homeless solution problem just alone. Yes, there are homeless people that need housing over there, but there are also homeless people that are living in those motels. So when you talk about opportunities, it's looking at that as not just a solution for homelessness. If it were just a solution for homelessness, then those people that live in those motels wouldn't even qualify. So you want to be strategic about that and put together packages where you can do both permanent supportive housing and a public facilities corporation deal so that you can address all of the needs. Now we have housing for all. So again, when you talk about it, it's about looking at even some of those things that we overlook and seeing the value and the solution and the opportunity in the district. Executive Airport is another opportunity that's prime for development. When we talk about jobs and bringing those things in, you have Mountain View College bringing students in there. You have a flight school over there. You have aircraft maintenance business that's over there. You have the, well, thank you. I'll stop.
So we have a question from Chaplain May Crosby. What are the 3 priorities you would focus on if elected? And for you, re-elected.
I think first and foremost, I've talked a lot about economic development, and that will remain one of the forefronts for me. But one of the things we need to be paying attention to right now is transportation. And that's the discussions that are happening right now with DART and how that's going to impact access to transportation, particularly in Southern Dallas. So that's the very first one, is making sure that our transportation and our infrastructure remains intact in spite of some of the things that our neighboring cities from the north are trying to do. Economic development, as I keep mentioning, will be another one that I'm focusing on, as well as a nice housing strategy that includes housing for all. It can be done, and it doesn't have to impact where you're currently living in order to get that done. The beautiful thing about District 3 is we have a whole lot of land available to address this and bring these type of developments where we're bringing mixed-use developments in one area. Right in my neighborhood, we're bringing cottage homes that are coming to our neighborhood. We're bringing larger homes that are coming to our neighborhood. We're bringing, we already have townhomes that are coming right there. And then in the backside, we have single-family rental homes. So again, housing and having a strong strategy for that are those. So economic development, and then public safety. Public safety is moving in the right direction. But now what we need to do is focus on making sure that our neighborhoods and our communities feel safe. And that's ensuring that we have our right care program and our crime intervention programs in place to address our youth's needs as well. So those are the ones that I'll be focusing on here. Thank you so much.
What are the top 3 priorities you would focus on if elected?
The top 3 priorities that I will focus on is reduction in crime. We can't save transportation, for example, if people are not feeling safe walking to the bus stop or sitting at the bus stop or coming outside of their homes. The first priority is public safety. The second priority is access to home ownership. When people have a sense of ownership, they have a sense of pride in their community. As of today, the reason why I'm running is because our community is losing pride. The most dangerous community, the most dangerous society is that of which is hopeless. I am running because I moved to my district because of the pride and hope they once had. The third priority is better community engagement. Many of us, we're not aware of what's going on in our communities.